Welcome back to the Healing Fungal and Parasite Infections mini video course of myself, Sean Croxton of UndergroundWellness.com, and Paul Chek of the Chek Institute. Paul, this is our final video. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this because you were on my show recently, and there were some frequently asked questions that came in. I want to get answers to those questions. One of them was this, and I hear this a lot as well when I was working with clients, is I've done many different programs to get rid of my fungal infection or my parasite infection, but they always tend to come back. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, this is very, very common, and I see this every day, as you can imagine. So there's a number of things to look at. Number one, there's many potential blocking factors. So the question I would ask you, how many of those people do you think actually are covering these basics?
They weren't.
Rarely ever. Every now and then it does happen, and maybe that person has an invasive parasite, or they've been misdiagnosed, or they've been correctly diagnosed as having a parasite infection, but they have multiple parasites that could require different herbs or different approaches. So one of the reasons that happens is, as I alluded to earlier, we only test for a small number, and many people are told that they don't have parasite infections. I actually had a woman carry an 18-inch Ascaris worm that came out of her vagina to the doctor and say, I need you to test this to find out what it is. The results came back 2 separate times, no parasite found. And she said, I brought you the parasite. So this is what I mean. They have very narrow scope or framework, and anything that falls outside of their framework is invisible. But when you got 400 to 1,000 bugs that can infect people, then the rule is, if you have the symptoms of a parasite infection, treat it as though you have a parasite infection, and the worst thing that'll happen to you is you'll feel better.
Right? You have to do this stuff, though.
Yeah, this is essential. This is what makes the medicines work, right? Without this, the herbs and drugs that kill parasites really are only a waste of time and energy, because now you just get a big die-off and go feed sugar and bring up another batch, right?
I had a guy contact me several years ago, and he had an H. pylori infection, which is a bacterial infection, and he did several different protocols for that as well, and he said, it keeps coming back, I keep getting it. And I asked him, are you married? Do you have a significant other? When people have parasites or fungal infections, should their partner do the treatment as well?
And not only their partner, almost anytime you have a family, if one person in the family has the parasite, it'll spread like wildfire through the house. People are sharing dishes. You know, for example, if your dishwasher's not commercial grade and does not reach the temperatures that kill most parasites, you're not going to be able to kill those bugs. So you wash a fork like in a sink like a lot of us do and put it in the dish rack, walk away, you haven't done anything but entertain those bugs. You get a bug like Giardia that can withstand boiling, it is not going to do anything to it. So as a general rule of thumb, remember, a lot of parasites come from pets too, cats and dogs. How many times have you seen a dog dragging its butt across the carpet? That's a classic worm parasite symptom.
People sleep with their pets.
They sleep with them, they let them lick them, they swap. I mean, what people do with pets is inviting for very bad parasite infections. Some of the other things that don't get addressed is drugs. A lot of medical drugs have negative side effects on the body, such as suppressing the immune system, clogging up the detoxification pathways, causing elevated sympathetic activity in the body. Some of these things have side effects that raise cortisol levels very, very high and lead to immune suppression. So whenever someone's got a serious fungal or parasite infection and they're taking medical drugs, it's essential to look into the side effects, and you can use a good drug check software, or you can use the book Drug Facts and Comparisons, which isn't published by drug manufacturers, so it gives you the actual information. Then you got toxins. A lot of people, for example, have mercury amalgam fillings in their bodies still, and the mercury is causing all sorts of neural entanglements and confusion in control systems. So those are a few of the things that I have to look at that are really relevant. But if those things aren't done, none of that stuff works anyhow.
Of course, we want everybody who's watching this to purchase the DVD set because it's amazing. But I'm sure they're thinking, I'm going to purchase the DVD set, but are you going to give me like a whole big long protocol with other stuff that I need to buy? I know you mentioned herbs in the program.
Yeah,
Talk about that.
I do go through a basic protocol. The good news is that the bulk of parasites in general do not like certain herbs. They do not like ginger. They do not like garlic. They do not like hot, spicy most anything that you would say burns your mouth if you eat it, like Mexican food or spicy peppers, they don't like it. Matter of fact, that's why food is so spicy in third world countries, because most of them can't afford refrigeration. And if they don't superheat that food with spices, it'll be full of bugs. So it's actually an anti-parasite program to have high spice in foods with, high things that are hot, like jalapenos. Bugs don't like jalapenos. They don't like any of the things that make you cry when you eat it. So you've got ginger, garlic, things like turmeric, cayenne, all your spicy stuff. You've got black walnut hull, you've got various tinctures, you've got all sorts of parasite blends in stores. There's many things that will do the job, and I go into that. There's essential oils you can use, there's homeopathics you can use. So in the Healing Fungal and Parasites program, I show you the basic protocol that I use for almost everybody, and I would say that that protocol works 9 times out of 10. Only 1 out of 10 if people do this. Do I have to go any further than that? So I also give you essential oils you can use. I give you a whole variety of stuff, and I show you if you're doing all this and you follow the protocol and you're still not getting better, I give you several resources for testing, for more comprehensive testing, and places to go to get help from people like me that are very skilled at dealing with more complex parasites. And actually, there's people out there that are far more skilled than me that I use as consultants, and I mention those people at the end.
These herbs and protocols that you mentioned, are they going to cost our audience an arm and a leg?
No.
Okay.
No. Most of the stuff that you need to do to get, if you start getting into a comprehensive parasite cleanse, you can get up $600-700 for a 60-day program or a 30-day program. But most of the stuff that you need to kill most of the parasite infections, done in concert with this 4-doctor approach, is stuff you buy. So you can buy ginger at the store. You can buy garlic at the
turmeric,
store.
all that.
You can get turmeric. You can go right to the vitamin section in almost any health food store anywhere and get tinctures such as green walnut, black walnut, wormwood. And really, honestly, why those things don't work for people is because they keep feeding the bugs, over-exercising, undersleeping while they're taking them. And if you're not doing this while you're taking those, remember, the bugs are learning how to metabolize that. So the secret is, don't throw these things at parasites willy-nilly, just like an insurance policy, so you can continue to live foolishly. Or your parasite protocols will get more and more expensive. If you want to keep it efficient, follow the 4-doctor plan, get serious about cleaning up your environment and making the changes we've said here, and then your parasite cleanse can not only be cheap, but it's easy to do, and you should do it every 3 or 4 months. And if you travel internationally, you should always do it when you come back from an international trip, especially if you're eating foods off of vendors or small restaurants like in Mexico or places like that. It's a real good idea to do it.
So follow the 4 doctors.
Yeah.
And also watch all 5 DVDs. Part 1, Intro and Detox. Part 2 is The Essentials of Overcoming Fungal and Parasite Infections. 3 is Supporting Your Immune Health. And the last 2 are Healing Fungal Infections and Parasite Infections, Review and Action Items. I've watched it myself twice.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Thanks so much, Paul, for putting it together.
Thank you very much. And I really did my best to make it understandable even to people 12 years of age or older. So a lot of people get scared because they think I'm really radical and technical. But this was very important to me because this is a serious social health problem. And I wanted kids to understand this because kids today actually make a lot more buying decisions than we realize, right? They've convinced their parents to take them to McDonald's and eat garbage. They can convince their parents to take them to Whole Foods or somewhere and eat real food too. So I made sure that kids could understand that as well.
Did a really good job with that. So go to the link right there and pick up the DVD set. It is amazing. Thanks so much for watching our video mini course. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Peace.